So the next theory that we are going to learn is on the insightful learning. ಒಳನೋಟ ಕಲಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. A theory which is related to insightfulness. ಒಳನೋಟ ಆಂತರಿಕವಾಗಿ through the help of ability of thinking we used to get some form of learning. That is what this theory signifies. It is the typical human learning, and definitely it includes some of the cognitive processes like how we think, how we reason out, how we process, how we develop our different abilities in our personality. Everything matters. So the theory of insightful learning, one or another way, it plays a significant role. It is a typical human learning, and it includes cognitive processes. It is a type of learning or a problem solving that happens all of a sudden by understanding the relationships between various parts of the problem rather than through the trial and error. So just I would like to show you the picture how this experiment was conducted. You can see for this experiment, these people psychologists used an animal called a chimpanzee. The name of this chimpanzee is Sultan, they have named. So they too also prepared a case where this particular animal was placed, but there is no such arrangements that the bananas are very favorite food for this animal, but they were not made available to get easily. They were hanged at the very top of the room, or the place where this chimpanzee was placed. Okay, this is first 1, 2, 3 images are one experiment, and these are the second type of experiment. Okay, let's see what that is. Okay, as I said, it includes the holistic view of situation and generalization of conclusions. So insightful learning will definitely enable every one of us to understand the situation thoroughly. So it says that learning used to take place by understanding the whole condition. Okay, without looking at the small parts, we should have to look the condition of the environment, and after understanding environment only, we'll get some insightful ideas by how I think, how I reason out, how I used to get the solution. So that is what this type of learning used to explain by the psychologist Kohler and followers. So it is a type of learning or a problem solving. It is usually used to get a solution for the problem. That usually happens all of a sudden. Immediately we used to get we used to remember some of the scientists. Okay, they are not actually inventing something, but at the time of thinking they used to get some of the inventions like that. This will used to take place insightfully. We used to get some ideas, thought, or anything which are definitely play an important role for understanding the relationship between various parts of the problem. We are actually busy in getting solution to the problem in which we are actually living in, but sometimes we may take much time, but immediately we'll get yes, like this I should have to do so that I can get the solution. Like that, sudden understanding, sudden ideas used to come to us as to get the solution for the problem. Okay, and if we plan and execute the actions before we get end danger, definitely the problem will be resolved. That is what the theory of insightful learning says. It is a typical learning and includes cognitive process. As I said, the main propagator of this theory, insightful learning, is Kohler. There were other 4 members also who were contributed, and this theory is known as Kohler's insightful learning. He did an experiment on a chimpanzee called Sultan. So this experiment was conducted on a chimpanzee called Sultan. Just you try to see this image so that you can get an idea about the thing. So earlier, this chimpanzee was placed in a place where the bananas were hang at the top of the room. But and again there are some arrangements, like there were 3 boxes. You can see 1, 2, 3. These 3 boxes were kept in the room, a corner of the room, and chimpanzee was placed in the room or a case. So there, but the bananas are there at the top, but the height of the chimpanzee is not in such a way that it is easily can catch the bananas. Okay, then the bananas are very favorite fruits for the chimpanzee, and even it will try to wander here and there. It started thinking at the initial stage, even it started jumping towards banana also, but unable to get the bananas. ಆ ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣನ್ನು ತಿನ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಎತ್ತರದಲ್ಲಿ ತೂಕ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವನ್ನ. ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ಥಾಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಸರೌಂಡೆಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ 3 ಬಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರೂಮ್. ಇಡೀ ರೂಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 3 ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಟು ರೀಚ್ ಬನಾನಾ. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ using and these boxes were kept not in one corner, they were means they were kept in different corners of the room. And chimpanzee for a sudden moment it started looking at the box. Why don't I use the box to reach the banana, like that it thought, and it came with the box at the initial stage. Okay, one box was used, it stand over the box, again unable to reach to the height. Again what it thought is, why don't I use the second box on first box. So one box ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕಿಂತದ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕಿಂತದ ಮತ್ತೂ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. Then suddenly what it thought is, why don't I use one by one. So first big one, second smaller to the previous one, third very small. So like that it placed one by one, and finally the third image you can see 1 2 3 boxes were kept, and finally it jumped over here, and easily the same animal got the bananas and it start eating. ಈ ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣನ್ನು ತಿನ್ನುವಂತ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ದ ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಆ ಒಂದು ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಆಲೋಚನಾ ಕ್ರಮದಿಂದ ಜ್ಞಾನಾತ್ಮಕವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಇನ್ಸೈಟ್ಫುಲಿ, ದ ವೇ ಹೌ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್, if I start looking at the situations or conditions, I used to get a solution. Most of the times we used to get the solution through the help of understanding the whole, not by its parts. Okay, that is the first experiment what he conducted on the same animal. Next what he did is, for the same animal again, for the second time he kept only few boxes, and instead of 3 boxes on the same height, he has given one more opportunity of sticks, using boxes, and the second time he has given stick to reach the banana. One longer stick and one the shorter stick. Averadu hang arrangement irtava andre, so as the chimpanzee already knows that yes, in the previous experiment he did the same, so he started using the boxes, but again unable to reach to the height of the banana. So the chimpanzee kept one box, only there are 2 boxes, second box also it kept, again it stand over the box and unable to reach to the height of the banana. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಒಂದು ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಎರಡನೇ ಸಲ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಎರಡೇ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಈ ಸಲ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹತ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಚಿಂಪಾಂಜಿಗೆ ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣು ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಇಳಿತದೆ, ನೋಡ್ತದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲು ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಸಲ ಏನ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡೆಡ್ 2 sticks. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತದೆ, ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣು ಸಿಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ತಗೋತದೆ, ಅದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಣ್ಣದಿರ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಮುಟ್ಟಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಯಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ sticks. One is longer one and one is shorter one. Accidentally both the sticks touched together and they joined. ಎರಡು ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬಾಯಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣದ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಆಟ ಆಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹಿಂಗೇನೋ ಜೋಡಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಎರಡು ಜೋಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತವೆ. ಅಲ್ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಏನು ಉದ್ದವಾದಂತಹ ಕೂಲಿಗೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕಿರಿದಾದ ಕೂಲು ಟಚ್ ಆದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಕೂಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರದ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಸ್. ಅವಾಗ ಎರಡು ಕೂಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರದ ಗಾತ್ರ ಎತ್ತರ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So it identified, and finally by standing on the floor only, it touched the banana, it hit the banana, and finally it got the bananas and it ate. So this is the way how it got the solution for the second time. So using boxes and stick to reach banana was the experiment which was conducted by these psychologists, Paulo Kohler and followers. So they have identified the problem, and finally the animal organized the different forms of action to get a solution, and finally by thinking correctly and by analyzing the situation correctly, by identifying the problem correctly, the animal got right type of solution, isn't it? That is the way how the chimpanzee got success in this experiment. So the factors which are affecting the insightful learning are experiences. The thing that we must notice under this theory of learning is the experience, anubhava. So the past experiences of the chimpanzee definitely made help for, or it helped in different forms as to get a solution for the problem that was done. Second is intelligence, the type of intelligence which was used by that animal. Either it may be basic intelligence or it may be the acquired intelligence that we are talking about. So somewhat experience definitely helps, and even the level of intelligence used to work. So most of the times how we apply our experience and how we apply our level of intelligence, based on that, suppose we used to get the success. If we never try to apply the intelligence level, we will not get succeeded. Next is the situation, learning situation, which is very favorable for chimpanzee to get solution. Then the initial efforts were a short period of learning, there were no success, but finally the repetition and generalization of the whole concept, the classroom understanding of the room where that chimpanzee was placed, the bananas were placed. Finally, the animal got a solution, or it learned to get the solution to the problem. So like that, we have understood this particular theory. And the final element that we must study under this unit is on study habits. Okay, how does study habits play an important role in each and every one of us as far learning is considered? So how do we all need to understand the concept of learning is, we must try to study, we must try to learn the concepts with the help of some of the habits. Habits definitely play an important role. And I'm not talking about the habits which we usually followed, whether they are good habits or bad habits. Even we need to study the consequences, the thought, or the new situations or the conditions or theories to the help of a particular habit. Every one of us used to have some study habits. Let us see how important it is. One's habitual way of doing his study in a particular way and style may be termed as his study habit. As you know that everyone in the world have our own habits of study. We never used to follow somebody's habit in our own study. Some of us, after listening to lectures like explanation, will understand. Some of us, after listening, will read. Some of us, after reading, listening, and writing, will get. Some of us used to study continuously. Some of us used to get before examination only. Like that, we have the different perspectives. We have different methodology of studying ourselves. So there are differences in the habits of study is considered. The scholars and the psychologists have found that the following principles to be followed as good habits. So if we used to talk about the habits, so there are need of good habits that are to be encountered by every one of us. If we wish to remember the things forever, if we wish to make our learning very attractive and very efficient, what we need to do is we should have to study it in a very effective form. How and what? Let us see. Establishing a proper time schedule for studying. So whenever you wish to study, what you need to do is you should have to have a proper timetable. Okay, time management is one of the important art. Either it may be at the time of writing examination also, or it may be as per your study is considered. It is useless to make such a comment not as not getting enough time. Most of the times we used to say that how was the paper. If your friends ask you, I know all answer for the questions, but the time is not enough. See, why don't you think like that? Why don't you say that you fail to manage your time? Okay, not getting enough time is the wrong type of time management. So the time which is given for writing the examination is very much calculated by the experts. When it is possible for other students, if it is not possible for you, that is your fault, not the fault of the examiners or the others. So whenever you used to prepare or whenever you think of studying, you should have to prepare a proper timetable. Every day, if I wish to read 2 hours, so in those 2 hours, how many subjects I need to cover, for how many minutes I should have to give each subjects. Like that, you should have to plan and you should have to work accordingly. If 1 hour another day, if it is missed, okay. Every day and preparing timetable and not following the timetable, it is of no use. Okay. Establishing a proper timetable for study is very, very important. That should be done. Okay, as per students' point of view is considered. Next is observing desirable healthy habits for carrying out study in the planned time schedule. This can be understood in the following aspects like concentrate attention to study and preparation of study material. You should have to have your own study material. Okay, you should have to have a good atmosphere. That can be done. Adopt a desirable mood or a time or a note material making. Don't only read, just along with reading, what you need to do is you should have to make some important elements. Make your own notes so that you can comfortably read anywhere and everywhere. Next is there should be no stress or dependence on mechanical memorization of the studied material. Use insight instead of by heart or tomorrow. Okay, by heart is okay for some period of time, but during the adolescence and adulthood period, that will not work. So try to understand the concepts thoroughly so that it will be remembered. Okay. And don't have stress on your mind when you start reading. When you sit for study, you should be away from all the burdens and issues and the stress. Okay. When you meant 2 hours per day to study, that 2 hours is purely meant for study only, not using mobile phone or any other elements. Okay. Concentrate on the subject. Don't get distressed by any other objects. Don't get disturbed by any other activities. Okay. Practice is the only element which is required for every one of us, which will make us very perfect. So make a habit of revising and practicing the studied material. Once you studied, don't leave it, just to repeat, just to recall, just to recognize. So repetition, practice will definitely help you to remember the subjects forever. If you study today and if there will be no repetition of the today's topic for 1 month, you will forget everything. So what you need to do is whatever you study, it will be at least repeated for a recall for number of times every now and then, so that it will be remembered. Once, twice, thrice, or 4 or 5 times, if you remembered, it will be remembered in your memory. It will be stored in your memory, so that that can be done. Better to study 3 or 4 subjects in a span of time of 3 to 4 hours. Don't study only one subject. It will create boring issues in your mentality is considered. If you thought of 2 or 3 hours, in 2 or 3 hours every day, you should have to give sufficient time for every subject. If you have 4 or 5 subjects or 6 subjects, manage the time accordingly. See, sometimes what happens is, if my Kannada is my favorite subject, or psychology is my favorite subject, or other subjects are my favorite subjects, I will give much preference for the same subject, but I disrespect the other subject. It should not be done. Every subject should be treated equally. Every subject should be given priority. ಯಾವ ಟಫ್ ಇದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಹೊರತು ನನಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಓದಿ ನೆನಪಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಬರೀ ಒಂದೇ ವಿಷಯ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ you can do very good in one subject but not in other subjects. So that what you need to do is you should have to give respect for every subject. Then and there only there is a indication of learning the things in a systematic form. Next is you should have to love the subjects that you are studying, and you should have to respect your teachers. ಯಾವ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೀತಿಸುವ. If you start hating the subject, you will not learn anything. You should have to fall in love with the subject, and you should have to respect the teacher who is teaching the subject. Okay, ಬೋಧಿಸುವಂತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರನ್ನ ನಾವು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. At the same time, we should love the subject that we are going to learn. Next is we need to maintain healthy, desirable body postures and positions for study. So most of the times what we do is we start sleeping while we are reading. So that is not the good habit. If you wish to read the content, sit in a very good form which is comfortable for you, which will not allow you to go for sleeping. ಮಲಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹಚ್ಬಾರ್ದು, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಪೋಸ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು ನಮ್ದು. You should have to maintain a healthy as well as desirable body postures and positions, like how you sit in the classroom, like that. If you sit and if you study, if you start studying, it is good. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಾಗ್ತದಂತೆ ಆರಾಮ ಒಂದು ತಲೆಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಫ್ಯಾನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹಾಡು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಓದಾಕ್ ಕೂತ್ರೆ somewhat it will not lead you to go for remembering the things forever. Try to observe the principle of work as well as rest, and there is a need of taking rest also in between. So there are people who can see if they start reading, they will not leave the place for 3 to 4 hours. It is not the good sign. So every 30 or 40 minutes, you should have to give a break of 2 to 5 minutes, so that there will be relaxed to the mind. Continuously don't do any work as well as study too. Okay, there should be some small breaks which are required for us to get refreshed. So the mind is it should not be filled with lot many stress. It should be released. You should have to make always that you should have to release every now and then some of the stress or conflicts. So there is a need of principle of rest in between the work. Respect the individual difference. So some of us are very good at early morning, some of may study at late night. Don't think that which is the right time. Whichever is comfortable for you. Where you, if you say that, if you think that yes, evening is okay for me, you can read. Don't follow the same principle. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಓದಿರಷ್ಟೇ ನೆನಪು ಉಳಿತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ. Whichever is comfortable for you. If it is morning is okay for you or late night is okay, study according to your convenience. Okay, studying in silence or in music. ಒಬ್ರು ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಇದ್ರು ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಬ್ರು 4 ಜನದ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಬ್ರು ಹಾಡು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ by listening to the song, if they read, they will understand. Whatever the methodology you will follow, just you follow. Don't bother about the principles. Okay, studying alone or classmates, reading silently or reciting louder, that doesn't bother. Just Have your own style of reading, but respect that style. Don't feel jealous on other ability, and don't be inferior. Don't compare yourself to the other people. So that is the very negative element that you should not have. ಅವನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಓದುದಿಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ರೂ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ತಗೋತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ಏನು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೈಡ್. Study when you feel motivated, when you are energetic. Okay, don't try to study when you feel sleepy or stressed. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒತ್ತಡ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಓದ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಅನಿಸಿರ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ ಓದೇಬೇಡಿ. You need to be you need to study when you are motivated to study for, when you are energetic. Best way to learn is to discuss with colleagues. If you wish to remember the learned elements, try to discuss the same subjects with everyone, so that it will helpful for you to remember the learned things forever. Okay, that is the way how we need to develop the study habits. Thank you.